What's up, everybody? I found out through PewPew tagging me in a post about how Smash World Tour is canceled. Now, this is something that has been going on for like almost a year with multiple events with a prize pool secured, I think, of $100,000 per game or something on the grassroots level. Like, our community put a bunch of this shit together and made this happen. We created a circuit. And I see a statement that says that it is now canceled. I have not read the statement. I figured I'm going to read it live anyway. Let's read it. All right, let's see what's going on here. Okay, so official statement by Smash World Tour, November 29th, that's today. It is with an unbelievably heavy heart that we must announce that both the upcoming Smash World Tour Championships, which is December 11th weekend, it's the same weekend as the boxing event, the Ludwig boxing event, as well as the 2023 Smash World Tour, so they have the entire next year planned, must be canceled. Without any warning, we received notice the night before Thanksgiving from Nintendo that we could no longer operate. This was especially shocking given our discourse with Nintendo in the past 12 months. So this confirms that they weren't just doing it hoping that Nintendo didn't notice. They were actively engaging with representatives of the company. Since then, we have been working around the clock to take the proper steps logistically as well as to prepare this statement with proper legal guidance. So they had to hit up their lawyers. You got to understand, like, this is grassroots, right? So what if they just canceled Smash World Tour without saying anything as a grassroots event? Then they're just fucking done for because they don't have the financial backing of $1 billion company, right? This is all just down to the ground, normal gamer people who just love Smash Brothers making shit run. So yes, they had to be very careful on how they said this because they could just get sued up the ass by Nintendo's lawyers and shit. We are seriously grateful for all of the support over the years. Thank you for the sub. And we are incredibly proud of what we're able to build as a community. 2022 alone, we connected over 6,400 live events worldwide with over 325,000 in-person entrants, making the Smash World Tour the largest esports tour in history for any game title. The championships would also have had the largest prize pool in Smash history at over $250,000, which I'm sure they procured from sponsors and the like. The 2023 Smash World Tour planned to have a prize pool of over $350,000. So they were going to up it next year. That being said, we're truly devastated that this is all being taken away. The impact the tour has had globally cannot be overstated. The amount of tournament organizers, yes, multiple players from multiple regions across the world, competitors and fans this will affect is hard to measure. We realized, yeah, like just as I'm reading this, I'm thinking about the people that probably booked flights that probably were just goddamn excited about competing for the world championships. People from other countries that don't get this opportunity very often, right? Competitors and fans, this will affect is hard to measure. Yes, we realized just how much we could expand our spotlight to lesser known regions, as well as Smash World Tour prize pools in 2023 and beyond, establishing a much healthier ecosystem in the community around the world. We believe this decision by Nintendo sets all of that back significantly, which is incredibly disappointing. Truly, words cannot express how difficult this process has been. We had been preparing a one-of-a-kind event to crown our world champions, and we know just how hard the competitors have worked to get to this point. Yes, we were also projecting amazing viewership, since the 2021 Smash World Tour Championships had the highest viewership of any Smash event last year. I believe they crossed like 100-something thousand, correct? Which is amazing for a grassroots event. We even had multiple independent documentary crews coming out, both domestic and international, to cover this historic event, especially with the storylines coming in this year with a full global tour. With little COVID interference, the championships were going to break records and introduce so many new people to this amazing community. On a logistics note, we will be reaching out to those affected by the canceling of the Smash World Tour Championships. As many of you know, we lost a significant amount of money in the first 18 months of Smash World Tour. This was truly a labor of love for us. We don't know where everything will land quite yet with contracts, sponsor obligations, etc. In short, we will be losing hundreds of thousands of dollars due to Nintendo's actions. Wow. Okay, so we're talking about like just literal grassroots people. I'm talking VGBC, Gimmer, Apostle, like Matt, right? Matt and Calvin, and their staff who just do this out of love. Like, they're not rich. They're not making stupid bank. Okay, I hope people understand that the way that they make this work is to secure funding from sponsors. They possibly have paid a bunch of venues out of pocket, counting on a bunch of sponsor money too. Those sponsors are not going to be around if there's no event. And those sponsors don't care for the most part. Like, it's business to them. So if it's gone, the money's gone. That being said, we are taking steps to remedy many issues that have arisen from canceling the upcoming Smash World Tour Championships, especially for the players. Please keep an eye on the coming days for help with travel arrangements. Given the timeline that we were forced into, we had to publish a statement before we could iron out all the details. All attendees will be issued full refunds. The people involved will be financially destroyed due to Nintendo and Panda. I still haven't read the Panda part. The truth is, what makes this all even more disappointing is the approach Nintendo took in recent weeks compared to our discourse with them over the past 12 months. We truly believe things were progressing positively for quite some time. We had kept all of this progress quiet, but especially in light of both Nintendo's and their partner Panda's actions this year, we wanted to take the opportunity to write an open letter to Nintendo, as we don't know how much of the higher-ups at Nintendo are even aware of the history and context of the last few years. Knowing what I know of typical Nintendo conversations between them and our grassroots people, there's someone at the company that understands our plight. With those people that work at Nintendo that are actually trying to help in some kind of way, some kind of connect that's actually being helpful, what ends up happening almost every single time that I've heard of through my various friends and TOs that I know is that some higher up who doesn't give a fuck about anything, who doesn't know shit, just goes, no, you can't do that. They shut it down. Or some lawyers. Or some lawyer fucks who don't give a fuck about anything. They say, fuck it. I don't care what... They don't care to know what kind of conversations you have. They're just like, oh, RIP, shut that shit down. Done. That's usually how it works. This 100% checks out. I have no doubt in my mind that VGBC had been in talks with somebody that was pretty official at Nintendo. But there's always someone higher up who doesn't give a fuck about anything, shuts it all down. Without thinking twice about it. What do we mean to them? Some multi-billion-dollar company, right? What's up, Logic? How you doing? What's up, Zoo? In recent months, we have requested multiple times to communicate with them directly, but these requests were not granted. Not surprising whatsoever. As a preface, we want to emphasize that there are some great people working at Nintendo who have been advocating for the Smash community and the Smash World Tour. Look at that. Checks out, right? Even if that was not reflected in Nintendo's recent actions. Likewise, we have nothing but the utmost respect for Panda's team, players, ambassadors, employees, and contractors, many of which are our friends and are truly incredible people, and to our understanding had little to zero knowledge of the damage Panda caused behind the scenes in the past year. Ironically, we thought there was a chance that last year's Smash World Tour Championships and the tour overall were going to be shut down. This is true. I remember this fear. In November 2021, after the Panda Cup was first announced, Nintendo contacted us to jump on a call with a few folks on their team, including a representative from their legal team. We truly thought we might be getting shut down given the fact that they now had a licensed competing circuit and partner in Panda. I have a feeling that's not going to go over super well now. Once we joined the call, we were very surprised to hear just the opposite. Nintendo reached out to us to let us know that they had been watching us build over the years, wanted to see if we were interested in working with them and pursuing a license as well. They made it clear that Panda's partnership was not exclusive, and they said it had not gone unnoticed, that we had not infringed on their IP regarding game modifications and had represented Nintendo's values well. Oh, shut the fuck up, Nintendo. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry we froze up Stadium. I'm so fucking sorry. That's us infringing. Just shut the fuck up. Oh, no. Oh, no. We got rid of the fucking windmill on Stadium. How dare we just fucking soil your entire IP. They made it clear that game modifications were their primary concern in regards to coming down on events, which also made on a 22-year-old fucking game. Look, before I'm a little more understanding of that, fine. But like in light of everything that just keeps happening, bro, are you really that mad about us making your stage a little better? It's the same stage. We just got rid of the transformations, you fucks. God, thank God we didn't stop random platforms on FOD, right? That they would have shit their fucking pants over that one. They would have lost their shit. That lengthy conversation changed our perspective on Nintendo at a macro level. It was incredibly refreshing to talk to multiple senior team members and clear the air on a lot of miscommunications and misgivings in the years prior. This is This is the part that upsets me. You might have noticed that I've been a lot more quiet on my Nintendo hate over the last year. Three big reasons. The amount of harassment I got was taking a toll. Number two, the amount that I'd see other people in the community just not give a shit and not fight the fight, it made me feel like I was just taking all this harassment for no fucking reason and no one fucking cared. Number three, I'd have personal friends of mine hit me up on the download telling me, you know what? I really think we're changing their mind on this one. And you know what? I don't blame them because they were probably talking to official Nintendo representatives and they were making shit sound real fucking sweet. All they want is Smash to do well. And they're just being hopeful. So then they hit me up. They're like, yo, like we're making moves behind the scenes. And I'm like, all right, fine. I'll stop getting harassed. I'll stop fighting the fight. I'll just give it up. I'll just be quiet about it. Fuck it. And reading this pisses me off because it's just telling me that they just convinced my friends that everything was on the up and up, like things were working out, things were getting better. We explained why so many in the community were hesitant to reach out to Nintendo to work together, and we truly believe Nintendo is taking a hard look at their relationship with the community and ways to get involved in a positive manner. Just reading that, I sincerely hope that my steak picture was a part of that conversation. Like now, like looking at everything, I really, really hope this was part of the conversation. Doug Bowser just on the fucking call. Excuse me, Apostle Gimmer, talk about this. He's like, enhance, and then they just fucking zoom in on the fries. We went into 2021's championship a lot more confident, but we were still skeptical to take what they said at face value, correct, given Nintendo's history with the community, of course. We specifically held off on announcing 2022 Smash World Tour at that event per the request of Nintendo. The aim was to get licensed before our 2022 tour was announced and kicked off in March. During that time period of December to March, we continued our talks with Nintendo. For the first time, we felt like Nintendo was being consistently straightforward, transparent, and direct in answering our questions. We also began finalizing details of the 2022 Smash World Tour with various tournament organizers around the world, this time with more confidence than ever. However, we quickly found out that many organizers were concerned about joining up in 2022. They told us they had been told by Alan, the CEO and co-founder of Panda, that we were going to get shut down and we're not coming back in 2022. Okay, so this is like third parties mentioning this, okay? I think it's very important to prioritize making Nintendo change their minds on shutting down the Smash World Tour and further events rather than anything else right now. The rest can come later. That's not a bad take. Of course, this directly contradicted our conversations with Nintendo, but we felt we could not defend ourselves properly to organizers because we felt that our conversations with Nintendo should be kept private until we had our seemingly imminent licensing deal. Okay, that's fair. If you're dealing with sponsors, you can't really just throw Nintendo under the bus if you don't have anything in writing, right? So we decided to approach Nintendo with this very issue directly, explaining the attempted sabotage that was going on and our inability to speak freely. Nintendo was very sympathetic to our situation and reassured us on a few counts. They reminded us and reassured us that Nintendo is only looking to shut down IP infringement related to game mods and not the unlicensed Smash World Tour. That the Panda CEO does not represent Nintendo, and that they would have to have a conversation with him about his behavior. They reminded us and reassured us that Panda's license is not exclusive and that they can see two circuits coexisting. They reminded us that Nintendo's goal was not to gatekeep nor trap the community and that license guidelines would be accessible and clear. This call again bolstered our confidence overall, not only in that we were building with the Smash World Tour, but in Nintendo's approach and potential trajectory in working with the community long term. It was around this time as well, in late January, when we submitted our license application for 2022 after working with Nintendo to best meet their specifications. This is like made for TV evil. Unfortunately, the attempts from Panda to undermine the Smash World Tour did not stop. As the CEO continued to tell organizers we were definitely not coming back in 2022, and if we did, we'd get shut down shortly after announcement. Furthermore, organizers were told that their individual events would also be at risk if they were on the Smash World Tour. A few organizers told us this directly as the primary reason they did not want to participate in the tour this year. Okay, so we're talking about grassroots events choosing not to be a part of the Smash World Tour because of this fear, which is understandable. Remember, grassroots comes from our money, their own money, You don't want to just lose out on tens of thousands of dollars when you're trying to run an event. That's probably not going to make you much. We did not want organizers to feel like it would add any risks to be on the Smash World Tour, even if we believe that behind the scenes everything was okay based on what Nintendo has told us directly. Nintendo's response to our application came slowly, which did not surprise us. They reached out in March, a few days before our announcement, and we went back and forth on the feasibility of the scope, especially since our tour was global and Nintendo of America would have to coordinate with other Nintendo teams. Fair. We kept Nintendo in the loop of our announcement plans, but we understandably ran out of time for the formal license. Still, so they didn't. They didn't get the formal license. Still, we relied on our other conversations with Nintendo and pressed forward with the 2022 tour. Understandable. Okay. Basically, Nintendo just wasn't responsive. They weren't really doing anything. And Smash World Tour needed to start for financial reasons, planning reasons, etc. This caused our application to go into limbo, and that a decision could not be made at this time since we did not have the full scope of our proposal sorted with Nintendo in advance. Again, we knew timelines were going to be difficult and that we were building something very long term. We discussed with other approaches and ideas, and eventually Nintendo recommended at this stage to apply for a single event license for our December championships, which would also help get the ball rolling to start working on 2023, with a much longer lead time. Panda Cup. Around this same time, Panda Cup began heavily recruiting events for their circuit. The CEO continued to tell organizers we would be getting shut down shortly, and also added that any events that participated in the Panda Cup would not be allowed to be on the Smash World. I understand running a business, but it is very, against our Smash community grassroots, sense of family. I don't know how else to put it, but it's very against what Smash Brothers as a community stands for. At first, Panda targeted events that were not on the Smash World Tour, including those who did not join because of the aforementioned warnings. A few of these events had broadcast deals with a popular tournament broadcaster beyond the summit. The CEO of Panda wanted broadcasting rights to be included as part of the deal of the events joining the Panda Cup. Most of the events refused to break their contracts, so Panda approached Beyond the Summit directly to try to get the rights released. Just to explain, BTS had contracts with certain events that they would be the ones to stream it on their channel, production, etc., things like that. And that Panda, in order to try to get some of these events, because the events couldn't be streamed by Beyond the Summit, and did not want them to be streamed by Beyond the Summit and then be a part of the Panda Cup. They wanted both. BTS had very little motivation to give up the broadcast rights for free, of course, so they declined to get involved, causing the CEO of Panda to escalate things quickly. We were told he made a variety of threats to Beyond the Summit, including shutting down their entire Smash operation in 2023 if they did not eventually join Panda Cup. And then Rachel, IBTS, confirmed this. Yeah, Rachel does work at BTS. After BTS held firm, the CEO of Panda warned that they would get Nintendo directly involved, putting broadcast rights for all tournaments in jeopardy. That is scummy as shit. I know Alan, and I know, Alan who works at Panda, I know David, but I know all these people too, and I know them probably more. I am close to these people. I don't feel like any of this is a lie. I feel like this is being said exactly as it was. Not to mention that, there was a lot of legal, from what I'm reading, there was a lot of legal eyes looking through this before it was posted. In the end, most events with Beyond the Summit broadcasting contracts chose to side with Beyond the Summit and did not join the Panda Cup after all of this turmoil. This is also partly why, by the way, I found it so annoying when people were just shitting on Beyond the Summit because they made a profit through Summit. It was so dogshit to just shit on one of the few companies that gets to make a profit that actually has Smash's best intentions in mind. But anyways, in the end, most events with Beyond the Summit broadcasting contracts chose to side with Beyond the Summit, did not join the Panda Cup after all the turmoil. During all of this, we still kept an open line of communication with Nintendo as we prepared our submission for our championships event. Right, because they were still trying to get a license for that final one. We also expressed our serious concern about how Panda was talking to community organizers and their lack of ethics in how they approached Beyond the Summit. We felt a line had been crossed that could not be ignored. Again, we were reassured that the CEO of Panda does not speak for Nintendo, and that they are frustrated with all of the fracturing happening behind the scene due to this behavior. I could see this being the thought, but in my just extremely cynical mind, I'm feeling like Nintendo is more behind this than it seems so far as what I've read. This is just conjecture. Don't take me to court or anything. We also discussed strategy in submitting our new application for the December event, including potentially changing the name of the Smash World Tour, and if that would be beneficial. We cannot get into specifics of license requirements due to our NDA with Nintendo, but again, Nintendo was very helpful in the preparation process, and we were on the right track to submit again, this time with many months of lead time. We submitted our proposal on April 9th, 2022. April, for an event that's going down in December. After many events declined, Panda had no choice but to pursue events that were already on the Smash World Tour, meaning they would have to drop off the Smash World Tour mid-season. Okay, so I guess what this is implying that Panda Cup did not have enough like events, established events, to succeed as a circuit. And they couldn't change people's mind on changing their streaming from BTS over to Panda, so they still had to do it anyway. For many organizers, this was a deal breaker, as they saw no reason that their event could not have points count towards both circuits. Very true. In my mind, that makes sense. They were also concerned that more fracturing could occur. I gotta say, the Panda standalones were flops. Name them. I'm already forgetting what they were. Everything that I knew of the Panda Cup were the official, like the grassroots events that I've already come to know. At this point, Panda Cup was not left with many events for their circuit. However, at some point in April, the exclusivity rule changed and events became eligible to be on both the Smash World Tour and Panda Cup. Okay, that's good. Additionally, multiple events were then issued Nintendo licenses very quickly after the events were publicly announced. This caught us by surprise because we were repeatedly told by Nintendo that this was not possible. All of these instances were a great demonstration of the rules for thee, but not for me, umbrella we felt we were under. So as long as they were part of the Panda Cup, they were giving licensing even after being announced. The Panda Cup was officially announced on May 26, 2022. Our communication slowed down dramatically with Nintendo since at this point, all we were waiting for were the next steps regarding our December championships and beginning talks for the 2023 World Tour. Nintendo was very slow to respond to our many bumps, even though they were aware that we submitted in early April with the intention of announcing the event in July. Super unprofessional. Nintendo once again reassured us nothing had been decided yet and apologized for how long the process had taken. They also reminded us that the Panda Cup execution, relationship, and the behavior of the CEO were all under evaluation, and it created a very complex situation, which Nintendo could not react to quickly. We raised concerns from organizers who were concerned about Panda being involved next year, as well as the future of the Smash World Tour. We were offered to sit down whoever else it may be beneficial to talk to, since there are many decision makers involved at Nintendo, many of which do not have full context and may see us as the guys who announce without a license. This is true. As I mentioned earlier, big company, and there are people that you talk to that are cool, but there are guys that are higher up that literally just, they don't know shit, they don't care. Nintendo said things were getting out of hand regarding the timeline and that they will try to get the conversations progressing again. We were frustrated, but we still had no concerns about operating the Smash World Tour. Right. Just about whether we'd be able to obtain a license and actively work Nintendo on building in the community. The shutdown. We were not able to reconvene with Nintendo again until November, nearly 7 months after our application submission. At this point, we were only 1 month out from the championships, and we pressed Nintendo a bit harder on how things were progressing. They said it had been a very complex issue navigating the planning for commercial licensing, but they were very empathetic to us feeling backburnered, especially given the context of Panda Cup's messy inception and execution. Yeah, that's just a load of shit. It's just a lie. Nintendo told us that there are many decision makers involved, and some have been advocating very hard for the community, the Smash World Tour. Again, like more of that language I constantly hear about people talking to Nintendo representatives where they like do such a good job of making you feel like they really feel for you and the community. Finally, last Wednesday evening, November 23rd, right before things, we had our most recent call with Nintendo. Our Nintendo rep opened by letting us know that they are being asked to deliver the news that going forward, Nintendo expects us to only operate with a commercial license, and that we would not be granted one for the upcoming championships or any activity. We received this in writing as well. We asked if they could clarify the reasoning for their decision. Initially, Nintendo gave us a reason that seemed to be misinformed, and when we pushed back to ask for more details, Nintendo said they were unable to give any specifics and had to speak in generalities moving forward. Just the legal bullshit. This was very frustrating given everything we have been told all year regarding accessibility and transparency and requirements. It felt as though Nintendo simply did not want the Smash World Tour to continue to exist. At this point, we now felt we had been strung along this entire time. I got to get back to this point in a bit, but I am actually genuinely curious if this means that, like, VG Bootcamp is just straight up not allowed to operate the way they have. Like, can they not run Glitch anymore? You know what I'm saying? Double down? Or is it only if they are a part of the Smash World Tour? What if they're not doing it as part of a tour? Are they really shutting down, like, an entire grassroots effort? Our biggest one, our most, like, grassroots one? They canceled both Glitch and Double Down. You're fucking kidding. The biggest grassroots organization that we've ever had. I'm talking fucking 2008, dude. I remember VG Bootcamp showed up to Pound fucking 3 with their own setups and shit to set up there. From the gate, they were all about the community. And they've never been anything but that. They've always been about the community. Right? People have disagreements with Gimmer and Apostle. For whatever reasons, oftentimes those are extremely misguided in my opinion. But there is, like, no doubt, period, that they've been about the community since day one. And now they just can't operate. As a last-ditch effort, we asked if we could continue running the championships and the tour next year without a license, and shift our focus to working with them in 2024. We alluded to how the last year functioned in that capacity, with a mutual understanding that we would not get shut down and focus on the future. We were told directly that those times were now over, with no fucking explanation, only generalities. This was the final nail in the coffin given our very particular relationship with Nintendo. This is when we realized it was truly all being shut down for real. We asked if they understood the waves that would be made if we were forced to cancel, and Nintendo communicated that they were indeed aware. They just don't give a shit. Since this took place the night before Thanksgiving, it was incredibly difficult to process this completely unexpected bombshell, and we've been working around the clock ever since. Once again, we want to apologize to every single person affected by this, including the players, staff, contractors, organizers, and fans. We also apologize. I mean, they're not the ones who need to apologize. For real. They're not. They're not the ones who need to apologize. We also apologize for any of those who we could not communicate with these past few days. As you can imagine, this was an enormous decision that was not taken lightly, and we had a lot to prepare to get everything sorted. We did not want to risk any premature leaks. We worked to get this statement out as quickly as possible, and we will be in touch with all staff, contractors, and attendees regarding refunds, helping with travel arrangement changes, etc. Yeah, we're talking for players, for staff, travel arrangements, refunds, coming out of their pockets, by the way. Nintendo's not paying for this. To reiterate, we are incredibly devastated that any of this happened, and given the trajectory of Nintendo, we were truly hopeful that significant, positive change was inbound. Fuck no. Don't ever trust them. Not that it's their fault. I just want to be clear. I do not blame VG Bootcamp for trusting. In my eyes, a long, long time ago, they were just beyond trusting. Like, you could not trust them ever. They have done this time and time again. However, the way the last 2 weeks have unfolded, we are extremely worried that all of that progress has been abruptly reversed. Of course. This is not to chastise anyone who has worked with Nintendo in the past, but can we say it now? That no one that considers themselves a part of the community should... I hope this shows in Panda's, like, championship numbers. I hope that the unity in our community is well represented in how we react to the championships coming up. We understand that we are taking a massive risk by even sharing all of the above details. Our goal is not to burn bridges or make an expose on Nintendo. Fuck that. That bridge is burned. That dirt is salted. It's so done. This truly is an open letter. We genuinely are... I'm going to go ahead and say this is for the lawyers, okay? We genuinely are unsure of how much Nintendo is aware, We are hoping that they will reconsider their approach to the grassroots community. We all love this community so much and have tried to represent Nintendo well as we share that love with millions of fans worldwide. Nintendo originally communicated that their goals were to make both community and commercial licensing accessible and transparent in regards to requirements, like many other game publishers, and to not function as a deterrent to tournament organizers. Oh my god. Did they shit the bed on that one? And then as far as not functioning as a deterrent, I think shutting down VGBC goes so far beyond acting as a deterrent. It is a straight up warning. They also made it clear that their goal was not to shut anything down unless violations were made against IP utilizing game modifications and things of that nature. Now it has reverted back to being very secretive with no clear guidelines and a willingness to abruptly shut down community efforts even with after giving many indications that would not happen. To close, we ask that Nintendo reconsiders how it is currently proceeding with their relationship with the Smash community. I hope so. Not even because I want them to work with us. I want them to reconsider it so that my friends are not absolutely fucked. And then once they're not fucked, I want them to get the fuck out of here. Like, I hope people have learned a lesson here. There's nothing to gain from these fuckers. That was a lot. As far as Nintendo goes, I feel like this is very much in the realm of possibility for them, but it is still shocking. I am still shocked at what they are capable of doing. I think it is an absolute tragedy that one of the scene's biggest grassroots organizations, the people that have been there since like 2008, these are straight up grassroots created tournaments by VGBC. And they're getting shut down. I believe Gimmer. I believe Apostle. I've known these guys forever. I've also known Alan for a while. And to hear this, I believe them. I'm going to be real with you here. I believe everything they said. But I am interested in hearing what he has to say. No fucking like corporate response, like through a PR firm, whatever. I want to hear what he has to say about this. People are shitting on Panda because that is the betrayal, right? Nintendo's not betraying us. They've been doing this forever. This is their same shit over and over and over again. Those are some of my thoughts. I mean, and then like I mentioned earlier, I also hope that this officially means that people stop working with them. This is too much. There's no explaining this. There's no making excuses for it. All right, link me things that people have been saying. First, I'll talk about this one. I think it's very important to prioritize making Nintendo change their minds on shutting down Smash World Tour and further events rather than anything else right now. The rest can come later. I agree. I'm team fuck Nintendo. Fuck Panda right now. My ultimate goal would be to see the people affected recover, right? Get the money back. Get the refunds. But I'm wondering in what way? If it's important to prioritize making Nintendo change their minds, in what way? Saying shit like fuck Nintendo at this point just doesn't help. I disagree. If they continue down this path, maybe the relationship is really doomed, but I feel like this is hopefully a case of massive miscommunication. Also, likely another tour trying to sabotage Smash World Tour. I'm not sure what am I supposed to write them a letter? Dear Doug Bowser, I hope this letter finds you well. I'd love to circle back on the whole canceling Smash World Tour. Maybe we could have a little chat on Monday, say 7 p.m. your time. Show them AMSA winning Big House. What do we got? What do we show them? Dude, the only way to save this is to show them Big House Finals. I think that's it. The way I learned that Nintendo responds is through Backlash when they try to shut down EVO 2013. They never responded any other time. They didn't respond with us raising $100,000 for charity. Backlash it's what gets them to act. Articles written based on the backlash. The impressions. That's what does it. That's what fucking does it in my mind. Not being nice and shit. Cheat, who works at Beyond the Summit, would obviously know, can corroborate that what Smash World Tour says here about Panda's interaction with BTS is true. Never catch me in a Panda Twitch chat or venue. Okay, well then there's no explaining that. I don't think there's anything Alan could say. Alan's the CEO. Even if Alan personally didn't say this, it's his company. For someone who pretends to be about the scene, that's fucked up. In so many ways. Wow. I really have nothing else to say. That's horrible for Melee for so many reasons. So, let me start off by saying that just because Cody and, Plup and other people are part of Panda as an organization, do not put them on this. Literally, the same way that if Dignitas were to do something, you can't put it on the players that are not involved in any of this decision-making. I promise you they're not involved on this shit. On this high-level shit, when they're dealing business to business, Cody is not involved. Do not go after people like him. I have no stake in this. That's not true, but let's just continue. If I think Panda is a piece of shit and there was malicious intent, I'm gone. I'm going to do my best to make an educated decision and do right by Millie. I believe him. Alan spent several months basically running a protection racket, telling TOs, including BTS, it'd be a shame if your event got shut down for being unlicensed, in an effort to scare them into signing on to the Cup. BTS will absolutely never participate in a circuit led by Alan. Well, there you go. I think this is absolutely sealing it. Even if Alan steps away, I think a lot of the sponsors, like, I don't think esports means enough to them. For, like, somebody like Geico to be like, oh, we'll give it another shot. No, they're just fucking out. Panda's done. It's over. Free agent Plup, free agent Cody. Pick them up. They're dope. Jackzilla, fellow co-commentator at Mainstage. Go to Mainstage. The theory Panda Global is operating on is that they can make the normie audience so huge that they don't need the grassroots scene. This is a cold and stupid idea. Every Smash event at its core runs on passionate, underpaid grassroots enthusiasts. Without them, you can't do anything. If the idea was to entice the normies through a Nintendo official sponsorship, because let's face it, there are a lot more normies in the Smash scene than there are people dedicated to our niche. The idea might have been to be able to latch onto that crowd. My theory is that they won't continue to exist after this. They're going to be hated throughout the entire community. They have a big part of their root in the Smash scene that sponsors would simply not want to work with them. Like, do you think Geico wants to be affiliated with the company that everyone hates? Fizzy. After the Big House cancellation, my impression is that Panda has effectively served as an in-community Trojan horse, allowing Nintendo to start exercising its control over our events again. By the way, I think Panda's silence is very, very telling. But then they're also probably trying to do it legally. I'm just saying, in the coming days, you're probably going to get a Panda response or an Alan response. Read it very carefully. Check the lawyer language. Check the generalities. Speaking in non-specifics, I guarantee you it's going to be a whole lot less specific than what we just got. All right, this is from Aiden. If Nintendo Panda's support were legit, they would leverage resources to provide organizers and the community with the best circuit possible. Instead, implied threats of C&D were consistently leveraged in order to stomp the competition. Nothing concrete to offer. It's laughable. He's right. Genuinely sad about how the Panda is treating the community. I hope this can remind everyone why we don't want to work with Nintendo. I'm not sure about boycotting all Panda events. Smash TOs will be impacted. That's true. But the circuit's over. They're just heading to the championships. We boycott the fuck out of that. If the U.S. government is reading this, Nintendo has oil. Official statement by VG Bootcamp. I'm saying right now, before I read this, we have to have VG best interest in mind here. It is with much regret that we announce that we must cancel both upcoming major VGBC Smash events, Glitch, Duel of Fates, and Double Down 2023. We will have more details in the coming days, but we needed to make an announcement as soon as possible. At the moment, our future is uncertain in regards to running major tournaments. But as of right now, based on our recent communications with Nintendo, we would be putting ourselves at further risk if we continued forward with our current plans. We are hopeful that this does not mean we will not be running major events in 2023, just that our future is currently uncertain. Okay, that is somewhat hopeful language. It has honestly been difficult to even gather our thoughts and put them into words. We have been racing around the clock to get our business in order and figure out our future plans, while also rushing to get the statement out in a timely manner. We're currently navigating budget cuts, internal communications with our team and partners, commitments, contracts, as well as sponsorship negotiations that will inevitably be affected by all of this. We want to apologize to everyone who this negatively affects: our team, partners, the players who've registered and planned their schedule around our events, just everyone. To everyone we couldn't tell in advance, we also want to apologize to you. We had to get this out as soon as possible. And especially with the holiday weekend, we had minimal time to do anything else or communicate with anyone. To be totally transparent, we're still figuring out what we're going to do, but much of it is still up in the air. We are hopeful things will turn around, and we will keep everyone in the loop if any events' statuses change. Now, I want to say this. If Nintendo does turn around on this, It's going to be great for the scene. It'll be great for VGBC. But I do not want to see people like hashtag thank you Nintendo. Yeah, Gimmer versus Allen at the Ludwig boxing event. Not going to lie, though. I think Allen wins that one, so we probably shouldn't have it. Panda putting out their statement.
But I apologize to fucking nobody. to say, I apologize to no one. Let's fucking go. I fucking win.
It's fucking great, by the way. That's a hard retweet.
To say that I apologize.
This is just some guy on Hungrybox's stream. I don't know who it was. Do not assume that someone's silent right now means that they agree with this. Like Esam just tweeted that he just got out of a lesson. What about HBox? I mean, he hasn't tweeted about it, but I think he's going to agree with everything. Wait, did Amsa just tweet some completely benign shit? Can't open the tomatoes can. Not good at cooking. Sad. Amsa, this is not the time. And the best related meme goes to Amsa. Hilarious, dude. In retrospect, we all would have looked pretty silly spending almost $100 on something that would have automatically bricked itself if taken to any event that wasn't the Panda Cup. That is hilarious. Imagine you bought a high-level controller for $100, and then the moment you go to another event, it just fucking bricks. You go to BTS, you go to Smash Summit 13, and in Grand Finals, it just fucking shuts down. Because that's what Nintendo and Panda do. They wait till you're about to have your finals, and then they shut you down. Imagine Mango, or like Amsa making his run, trying to get to Grand Finals. Boom! Shut him down. Also, the fact that they're allowed to stream and they're talking about things tells me that Panda is probably really scrambling right now to come up with a statement because they're not addressing their own players making statements. Usually, I think the players would be the first people that would be told by the org saying, hey, keep it down. We know shit's going on. Keep it down. The fact that they're scrambling, it tells me two things. One, that the fact that they're not saying anything or telling their players to do anything tells me that, one, they are scrambling, and two, staff was not aware and has nothing to do with it. It might literally just come down to the tippity top leadership, and staff had no idea. So staff's not going to be like, yo, shut the fuck up, because they had nothing to do with this. They don't know. They're waiting on news from up high. HBox being on an internet break, is he actually? Oh my god. Dude, I almost took a nap. I was almost out. Being on an internet break right now is like the one day you miss school and the principal gets in a fight with the janitor and Jay-Z and Doja Cat comes and performs in the auditorium. Actually hilarious. Yeah, that's why I got to get this YouTube video out before fucking Hungrybox does. Dude, Ludwig is so fast. Holy shit. Yeah, this is tragic. Esam making a comment saying, yeah, thanks for the follow, Morse. I want to see the most opportunities for Smash possible. This is fucked. Yo, the players themselves, I have to remind you guys, they are on contract. I think they're allowed to say something like this. Because in the end, Nintendo did shut it down, not Panda, but still. But now we shall... I don't know about y'all, but if everything said about Panda is true, then I'm done with supporting them. Hey, let's go! The future! Unbelievable how hundreds of people will be affected by this, most likely skipping Panda Cup. Let's go. Let's go. When I opened up this message, people were already tweeting at me. It's like, I hope you have some hate for Panda. And I was like, I literally haven't read it yet. I do not know anything. I was not prepared for what I was about to read. I thought at most, like maybe Panda was like promoting their event after SWT got canceled. I don't know. But I did not think it was that diabolical and dirty. Congrats to Lima for qualifying for the Panda Cup finale. No thanks. Like, let's say all the players show up to wherever this is. Like, what is it? In Florida? They show up to Florida. And then they all, like, use the free travel money to go to Panda Cup and then don't enter at all. And then head off to Disneyland. I better not see one top player show up. Like, what if it's just one guy who decides to stick around? Unless it's Mewtwo King. If Mewtwo King's that one guy, I'm going to go ahead and forgive him because I don't think he's thinking about it. Or Amsa. Amsa could do it because this man is still trying to open his tomato can. He has no idea what's going on. Let him win the tournament. He's not even going to notice. And then last but not least, I would allow Spark to do that because Spark literally tryharded a charity tournament and just beat everyone's ass. And it had stages on it and fucking Termina Bay and items on. And I don't think he ever realized that it wasn't a serious tournament. These are the only 3 I will allow. Chat, with all this in mind, can we please help Amsa open his can of tomatoes? We have to, chat, focus!
Fuck Nintendo. Say it again.
By the way, that's me saying fuck Nintendo. That's Mango. There's Toad. Thanks for watching and hanging out and hearing me out. I will talk more on this soon. See ya! Fuck Nintendo.
Say it again. Fuck Nintendo. Stippy like Ren.